We've got multi-generational, 200 years of multi-generational indoctrination that people really believe that vaccines are good. They really will keep me from getting sick. And you know, the FDA and the government wouldn't ever approve anything that might harm me. And so the undoing that in people's psyche is taking a long, long time. But I think that pretty soon we're going to reach the 100th monkey here. I really do. And I think that there's going to be a 100th monkey phenomenon when all of a sudden everybody's going to go, holy cow. And they're all going to wake up at the same time. And honestly, Alex, I think that's what the government's most fearful of. Because of radio, because of the Internet, because of webinars, because of all of these technologies that we have an exponential waking up curve that's happening unlike anything that you and I have seen in the last 5 to 7 years. It's happening really fast. And so there's this race to the finish line of like, holy cow, we can't control all those people. We can't keep them in the dark if suddenly they're all awake. We have to suddenly ramp up the 400-year pathway that they've had in terms of taking over the world, and we have to do it really quick, because if we don't do it soon, there's going to be so many people awake that are going to revolt that we're not going to be able to be successful, which is what I'm hoping will happen. They won't be successful.
Dr. Sherri Tenpenny, you just hit it out of the park right there. You just said it all. They are behind schedule. People are waking up. They clearly have accelerated every program. The gun grabbing, the carbon tax, the banking takeover, the open borders, the wars. I mean, they are...
in a panic. In a bit of a panic.
Well, my dad did exterminating in college to raise money, and he'd go into the bad part of town to kill roaches. And he said it's true. When you spray roaches with poison, they start fornicating. And that's kind of what the elites are doing. They realize that they're losing, and so they're just going wild. They are really trying to take over right now. Final segment with our guest. Her website's on screen. Stay with us. By the way, I've gone crazy. There's 18 interviews in the new Obama film, and I just sent the guys off to interview Berg. That'll be a 19th. We're going to interview Dr. Sherri Tenpenny for the film. We just agreed to do it because I'm covering the flu some, but I think it's more important to even do more in the film on it and just how they stage crises. So very excited. You know, I forgot to even toot your horn, Doctor, because who I have on is people that have proven to be accurate. And you wrote a book a few years ago about how they would use a flu as a pretext to take over. And I've read the book. It is almost like prophecy. And you were telling me during the break that sometimes you can't believe you wrote this. I mean, you know, I have that same feeling when I make these films and project what I think they're going to do. To be exactly right is really scary.
It is scary, and when I go back and I read it, and I read the chapter about mandatory vaccination, is it possible? When I read about the last chapter about, you know, tying it all together, how is it that sick birds and sick people and vaccines and quarantines, how does this all come about and come together? I read it now and I think, I can't believe I wrote this. This was like prophecy. I wrote it in 2006. It's called Foul Bird Flu. It's not what you think, but it's very much about what's going on with the swine flu right now. It's exactly the same, and people can get it off of my website. It's at drtenpenny.com. It's actually even on sale right now for $20, so there's no reason everybody shouldn't have it and pass it out to their friends.
Well, I mean, in the book you say, are they mixing it in with the vaccine? And then we catch Baxter at 18 locations mixing it in with the big vats. And then, thank God, somebody in the Czech Republic tested it on ferrets, and it killed them. And then separately, they won't say who the company is, but it says they had bird flu trials, London Telegraph says, that killed a bunch of people. But it says it was a pharma company, paid off officials to lie and give it to homeless. But it doesn't say it's Baxter. Do you have any intel on who that really is?
No, I don't. Not right now. Not off the top of my head, but I'll bet you if we look long enough, we'll find it.
Well, I mean, they arrested all the city officials in just one country. Why won't they say who the vaccine company is?
You know, they probably have dirt on everybody, or they probably threatened their children or something. You know, they're not, again, you know, they've killed off a lot of scientists, so it wouldn't be, it wouldn't be out of line for them to put somebody on notice that if you talk, something not good is going to happen to your family.
Doc, I know you've got to go do an international conference call with some doctors discussing this. When is a good time for my producer to call you? Because I know it's a limited window to book, send in a crew.
You can call after 3 o'clock today. The call is for an hour, and I will be after the call today, and I think it would be really exciting to be part of the movement of what you're doing, Alex, because you're really making a difference, and I really want to thank you for all the work that you do.
Well, I want to thank you. We'll call you at 3 your time in 1 hour, 3 minutes sharp, and we'll set up to send a crew. I'm almost out of personnel. I've got only 2 crews, and one of them's gone, and the other crew just got back from California. Doctor, we salute you. We'll talk to you in 1 hour and 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you so much, Alex. Take care.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't a joke. This isn't a game. This is the real deal, and everybody has got to see my film, Endgame Blueprint for Global Enslavement. This is the film that exposes the eugenicists, who they are, how a world government is a means to an end. It says, for the New World Order, a world government is just the beginning. Once in place, they will engage their plan to exterminate 80% of the world's population. Ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly what Ecoscience, written by the White House science czar, says. He says a world government, a planetary regime, so we can sterilize and kill the majority of the population. Ladies and gentlemen, exactly what this film 2.5 years ago says. Exactly. Now, I was going off State Department documents, UN documents, where they stay most of it. But, I mean, this book, the more I read it, I'm almost done. It's worse than I thought. It's all real. It's all true. Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement.